Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for joining us on the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, good morning, baby. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Excited for Tuesdays with Charlie. That's always a blast. Think we'll learn anything good today?
Oh, we always learn something good.
Oh, yeah, we learn good stuff. When I say good stuff, I mean stuff you probably shouldn't have the kids around for, but no, it's usually not like that. Hey, a recent study suggests that most of the pain experienced while visiting the dentist actually comes from the painful thoughts you have before ever even getting in the chair. So saying it's really more in your mind than it is in your mouth.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The pain, you build it up to be worse than it really is. So maybe next time you have to go to the dentist, do like you do when you're taking the dog to the vet. Pretend like you're going somewhere fun. Hey, want to go to the park? Maybe that'll help. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Hey, a small town south of Hamburg, Germany, has been conducting a test for 2 years. They found that government workers who were allowed to sleep on the job were more efficient than those who stayed awake. So that either means that they're more efficient because they're getting a nap, or the other government workers are just really not efficient at all.
I could say many things, but
All right,
I will not.
That was in Hamburg, Germany. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, June the 28th, and today is National Columnist Day.
Oh.
Are there any columns that you read, like that you just can't miss?
No.
Me neither.
No.
I remember when I was a kid, I think columnists were a lot more popular then. More people read the paper. We're kind of lazy now, aren't we?
I wouldn't say we're lazy. I read a lot of information online, but there's no one columnist that I...
And that's what I'm saying. Unless you can read it online. And nowadays, I think instead of calling them a columnist, if they're online, people call them a blogger. But I think that's kind of the same as a columnist from when we were kids.
No, I don't read any blogs. A blogger is somebody who's on, that you go to their page every day and you read what they have going on. It's kind of like an online diary.
Yeah, it'd be kind of like a columnist.
I don't read any blogs at all. I read...
Well, sorry I even said it.
Well, that was a ridiculous comparison. You don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about. It's National Columnist Day, also National Heidi Don't Read No Blogs Day. It's also International Body Piercing Day. So get out there and celebrate with a piercing. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio. The good news is Ann McLean's dog didn't have cancer. The bad news is the dog was almost put to sleep, Heidi. Okay. Can you imagine this? Annie McLean, I think it says, had a little terrier, Robert. Robert was diagnosed with cancer by a vet who suggested that the dog be put to sleep. On a hunch that she just thought this vet didn't know what he was talking about, Annie McLean decided, I'm going to take this dog to another vet for a second opinion. The doctor at the second veterinarian office diagnosed Robert doesn't have cancer. He just has bad teeth. So instead of being put down, the animal had to have 12 teeth removed.
Ew.
And once that was done, Robert was good to go. Going to have to eat soft dog food from now on, I'm assuming.
I guess.
Probably had to before, too.
If
you had 12 bad
teeth. I bet both of our dogs have really...
Well, it's because they never floss. I ask them to all the time. They never brush their teeth. I mean, our dogs they're kind of yucky. They don't... I
have a dog toothbrush. We just don't ever do it. They don't like it.
Do we really have a dog toothbrush?
Yeah, dog toothbrush.
Or do you just use mine when you do that?
No. They don't cooperate, though, at all.
I wonder why. I don't think dogs are like that. I think you're supposed to feed them like a special kind of treat that does that, don't you?
That's milk bones, but they don't like milk bones.
Well.
So,
yeah. We'll have to see if they like something else. Anyway, this lady went in. Can you imagine taking your dog in, having the veterinarian say, well, dog's got cancer, going to have to go. And there was just something that didn't sit right with Annie. And she said, I'm going to get a second opinion. And she finds out that her dog is cancer-free, just has bad teeth. Yikes. So I wonder if there's going to be a lawsuit there because this lady almost put her dog down.
No, she can't sue because she didn't really put her dog down.
It doesn't. So. I noticed in the story, it doesn't say even which town she's in. and it doesn't say which vet that was. You'd think that you'd want to get that info out there if this vet's saying, oh, yeah, put this dog down. All right. You know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. Wadsworth, Ohio firefighters hit the crime-busting jackpot while dousing a fire at a new home. Seems that it was kind of strange that the owner took off running while they were there battling the fire. They thought that was kind of weird until all of a sudden it made sense. They found $700,000 worth of marijuana in the basement. Yeah. I think that's 4 plants. I'm not sure. No, it says here 239 plants. That's how many.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's not the only crime. There was a bunch of cultivating system paraphernalia in there, plant growing lights. And here was the fire was caused by, and this is also illegal, the wiring bypassed the meter. So the guy tied in, and that's what they think caused the fire as well. Police are now looking for the owner who bought the place about a month ago. So,
wow.
Yeah. So he caught his place on fire because he had some, homemade electrical rig that he set up and was growing 239 marijuana plants. And now his house is burned down, and he's going to most likely go to jail. But kids, that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
A Danish reporter convicted of animal cruelty for killing a dozen fish with shampoo. A court says Elizabeth Kolster poured dandruff shampoo into a fish tank. This was for a 2004 television program. The report was supposed to show that hair products are very toxic. What it ended up showing is that guppies die when you put shampoo in with them.
Oh, my gosh.
A veterinarian reported the reporter to police 2 days after the show aired. The case was not heard until about a week ago. This happened in 2004.
Wow.
This is a Danish TV reporter, so apparently it's even worse there. The reporter was convicted but was not fined because the court said her rights to a speedy trial had been violated. They said, what you did was stupid, but we're not going to give you a fine because it happened a long time ago and our system is way backed up.
Wow.
So 2004, it's now 2016, so 12 years?
Yeah, that's insane.
That is not a speedy trial.
No, that's ridiculous.
I wonder if that's the case with everybody there, or if that's just this case. If you kill somebody and they're like, well, I know you killed them, but it was a long time ago. We didn't give you a speedy trial.
Sorry about that.
All right. We have your Scoop of the Day on the way, and Tuesdays with Charlie before you know it, right here on the John and Heidi Show.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your Scoop of the Day. The Facebook privacy hoax is back, Heidi. People are posting these notices. It's making its rounds again. People think that posting some sort of status will keep them from having to pay a fee. No, there's no fee to use Facebook. So the price grid that you're reading about on the status updates of many friends, not real. Mark Zuckerberg told me that.
That's super.
Or at least somebody who claims to be Mark Zuckerberg told me that. And then he asked for my bank account. I don't know why. Thinking he's going to give me some money, so I gave it to him.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, McDonald's is testing a new thing called fresh, not frozen hamburger patties. So at McDonald's all across the country, usually they're frozen patties, and now they're going to do a new thing in a few stores where they're trying fresh, not frozen. Do you think that's going to make a huge difference?
You know what? They've got a plan that's worked pretty well.
Yeah, I know.
Why mess with it?
They over a bazillion served or something is what they do now. So I don't know. Maybe they just decided let's check and see what'll happen. Maybe it'll be like 4 bazillion instead of just 1 bazillion.
Oh, whatever.
All right, now available socks that don't ever have to be washed. Steve and Jenny Whitley own an Angora goat farm, and they run Mohair Knitwear, a company in the UK. It's Corrimore, UK. They created a line of mohair socks after customers reported that their Corrimore jumpers didn't pick up the same amount of odors that other clothing did. Hence, they don't require as many washes. According to Steve, mohair fibers don't trap the usual bacteria that cause problems with foot hygiene, which he says means they can be worn day after day, week after week, in extreme conditions without any stench or discomfort.
That's disgusting.
So for those of you who want to wear socks that don't need to be cleaned, there you go. Mohair socks. I wonder how much these things cost. I have a link to the story at facebook.com/John and Heidi
Wouldn't
Show.
you think they'd be very hot?
You'd think so, and I bet they do
That'd be
stink.
like wearing wool socks.
Yeah, pretty
wouldn't
much.
It?
I think so. Made from Angora goat hair, mohair knitwear. I think that's kind of a funny name.
I would think that those would be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, you'd think so. Hey, a one-armed driver was involved in a fender bender and was detained when police in China found out that not only was he not a licensed driver, but the reason for the crash, this one-armed driver, was using his only hand to talk on the phone at the time. So he was driving. He only has one hand in the first place, and he was using that to talk on the phone. Bad idea. According to a recent poll, 1 out of 5 Americans are in favor of bringing back the gas chamber. Heidi, are you in favor of the gas chamber?
I have no problem with the gas chamber.
All right. Well, there you go. Hey, there's a new kind of DWI. Driving while intoxicated is the one that you've heard of, but what about driving while you're engrossed in your cell phone? People talking on cell phones are almost completely oblivious to what's going on around them. According to a study from the Western Washington University researchers, they say a clown riding a unicycle passed participants to test the awareness of nearly 350 pedestrians. When they asked if they saw a clown, 71% of those walking with a friend remembered the clown, as did 61% of those listening to music, but only 25% of cell phone users remembered seeing a clown on a unicycle. They say if people experience so much difficulty performing the task of walking when on a cell phone, just think of what this means when they're put into the context of driving safety. This is from a psychology professor, Ira Hyman. So, how would you like to be the clown on the unicycle? Like, okay, we need to get a clown to ride a unicycle past. We're just checking to see if people notice you, and he's over there trying to be noticed.
I'm sure he was just pleased to have a paying gig.
Finally, and my mom said clown college would never pay off, and
she said I'd never get a paying job as a unicycling clown.
Who needs unicycle instructions?
We're
Mom?
laughing at you now, Mom.
All right, that's gonna do it for your scoop of the day. Tuesdays with Charlie is on the way.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
Is it Tuesday already?
It
It's
is.
Tuesday.
I demand a recount. What kind of stuff we going to learn about today, Charlie?
Let's see. Let's start off with, here's a good one. You know, during good sex, endorphins are released, which are powerful painkillers.
No kidding.
So headaches are, in fact, a bad excuse not to have sex.
I'll keep that in mind.
Don't be pulling that crap on me. You got a headache. Yeah, I got something that'll fix that. Hey, I think I told you this once before, but 20% of coffee mugs contain fecal matter.
Oh, why'd you have to tell me that? I got a coffee mug right in front of me.
Well, take a drink. See how it tastes.
So when somebody says this coffee tastes like probably really does.
Can't say that word on
No,
there.
you can't. Charlie, thank you for noticing. You'd think she would know. Oh, boy.
Hey, then, do you know it's a myth that lobsters scream when you put them in hot water?
No kidding, that's not true?
Have you ever put one in hot water?
No, never done it.
I haven't either, but they have no lungs or vocal cords, so they can't. But I bet they say something.
We're on more of an imitation crab meat kind of a budget.
And I scream when I have to eat that. So.
There you go. Hey, then, 1 in 10 European babies are conceived in a IKEA bed.
Wow, an IKEA bed.
I hate that store.
Oh, you know,
I love the store.
Heidi loves it. I just hate trying to build the furniture. I'm like, what is this? And I'm looking at the pictures going, okay, I think that's it. I hope that's it.
You took me me to one of them stores once, and it was terrible.
Oh, I love that store.
Hey, then, did you know that going to work is statistically 3 times more dangerous than going to war?
No kidding.
I knew there was a reason I didn't want to come to work.
Well, now I know why.
Yeah. Hey, and then Russia did not consider beer to be alcohol until 2011.
No kidding.
Well, because compared to
Previously
their
classified
alcohol.
as a soft drink.
Yeah.
Beer is a soft drink there. Okay.
I like that.
Huh. Never thought of that.
And speaking of alcohol, a company in Alaska has developed powdered beer for backpacking.
Powdered beer, just add water?
Just add water.
Really?
Huh. Wonder if it's any good.
I bet it's
That
not.
might catch on.
I bet it's not any good.
You know blue whales.
I've heard of them, yeah.
Okay, their fart bubbles are large enough to enclose a horse.
No?
So if you're ever out there in the ocean and see this big old bubble, there's probably a horse in it.
That's what it was. Smells like a horse died in it anyway. All right, you ready for a good question, Charlie?
Sure.
You know, we always tell people if they have a good question, they can send it to us. And so many times they send questions that are just not good questions. But I think this person was paying attention because I think they know you. Listen to this question. Before Prohibition, which brewery owned more property in Chicago than anyone but the Catholic Church?
Schlitz.
How did you know that?
I read that somewhere.
Yeah. Before Prohibition, Schlitz Brewery owned more property in Chicago than anyone else other than the Catholic Church.
Well, the Catholic Church probably had their fingers in it, though.
They had a little Schlitz going.
I think so.
Do they still have a brewery in Chicago?
I have no idea.
No.
They're
No?
not in. They're in Milwaukee only now.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Hey, and one other thing that I thought was kind of good. This is another question that I thought this would be a pretty good one to ask you. Which show was the very first spin-off show? A spin-off is where they'll take characters from one show and start their own show. Do you know which one it is? The very first spin-off show ever?
Mary Tyler Moore.
No. I bet you watched this one, though. Andy Griffith Show.
It was a spinoff from what?
It was the first spin-off in TV history. It was a spin-off from the Danny Thomas Show.
Really?
Yeah. See, I didn't know that, but now I do.
I don't know what the Danny Thomas show is.
Well, the Andy Griffith Show is more popular, but it was a spin-off from the Danny Thomas Show.
Huh.
You weren't old enough to see the Danny Thomas show.
Yeah.
Well,
I
There-
was.
You lived it, Charlie. If you've got a good question for Charlie, you can send it to us. Send it to Charlie at johnandheidishow.com. Those come to us, by the way, and then we just share the questions with Charlie. So, Charlie, thank you, sir. Always fun to chat.
We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
All right.
bye, Danny.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can with a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
Do you buy lottery tickets? Maybe you wait till the jackpot is big, then you buy one. I was like that too. Like my odds got better because the jackpot was more. Well, I think I found something that actually will give me a better chance to win. It's called Lotto-licious. I learned about this from Richard Lustig. He literally wrote the book on how to win the lottery, and he should know. He's a 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Richard plays and endorses Lotto-licious, and I just signed up too. I'd love it if you join Richard and I. You can play Powerball and Mega Millions without even going to the store. Sign up right now at RadioLottoPool.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Last thing that Elvis Presley ate before he died were 4 scoops of ice cream and 6 chocolate chip cookies.
That's super.
Yummy. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Singer Alice Cooper once had a live chicken thrown at him during a concert in Toronto. He threw the live chicken back at the crowd, and the publicity from this incident helped skyrocket his singing career. So that's one of the reasons that he made it big.
Really?
Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The airport at Las Paz, Bolivia, is the world's highest airport. So it's higher than any other airport.
Okay.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
1 person in 2 billion will live to be 116 years old.
Yeah.
I don't think that I will be that one.
I don't want to be that old
No,
anyway.
I don't either. And I'm nothing against it. If you're 116, thanks for listening. I think that's awesome for you. But I can't even imagine. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Female orcas, also known as killer whales, live twice as long as male orcas. The large number of female orcas in a pod are because of the female's longer lifespan, not because the males have, been doing dangerous things or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
They just have a long lifespan. That's going to do it for your fun facts on a Tuesday.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
Do you think you're a lousy parent?
I think I'm a pretty good parent.
Well, it says you're probably a better parent than you think you are, according to
Well,
the
then.
statistics. So you're amazing. It says, here are 10 reasons you're a better parent than you think you are. This is from Parenting. I believe that's the magazine. It says here, you're the best mommy or daddy in the world for your child. Regardless of what the experts or anyone else says, in your child's eyes, you are their one and only. You can live up to that kind of love and acceptance, and you'll be happier for it. So quit listening to the professionals and just realize that, hey, if your kids are happy, then you're doing a good job. Number 2, trust your gut. Most of us try not to get too worried or upset by proliferation of news stories about lead-poisoned toys or tragic stories of kidnapped children, but it's not easy. When push comes to shove, your gut can be your guide. If you feel more than a tinge of doubt, do the right thing because you are naturally wired that way. Next, it says, you give your kids the best love you know how to give. That's important that you do that. You know, there are things you'd like to give them that you can't give them, but one thing that you can always give them is love. Next, it says you feed them every day. Not always meals with enough veggies and fruits and all of that, but you're doing your best to take care of them. So, that makes you a good parent right there. So as long as you're able to, give them nourishment. Maybe you see other people that are, doing fancier things and better things than what you're able to do, but you're taking care of them, so that's good. Next, you smile. It says by smiling at your kids, that's actually setting a good role model, and you help make them proud by doing that. You teach them about wonderful things. So it doesn't matter what your financial outlook looks like, you can still teach kids all kinds of crazy and amazing, wonderful things just by being with them and teaching them. Next, you love them unconditionally. Even when you don't like what they're doing, you still love them. That makes you a good parent. You comfort them when they're scared. You want your child to be happy. And how many more are there? Oh, here, we're on to number 10. You are their one true love. It says, for so many years, you are your child's sun, moon, and stars. You are the keeper of their small, open hearts, and they're only one. This essential truth, when fully appreciated, makes parenting the most fulfilling thing you do ever.
There you go.
So there you go, from Parenting Magazine. I didn't realize it was going to be that long. Thought this was 10 simple tips. All right, thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Hey, this is Tim from Hope and Faith Machine Works. Are you having one of these days?
How in the world am I going to do that?
Or even,
if I could just have this, my life would be so much easier.
Well, this kind of stuff is my specialty. At Hope and Faith Machine Works, we work with anyone who needs something built, fabricated, or just done right. We've done medical, industrial, PLC, and prototype designs. You can reach us at yourhopeourfaith.com. That's yourhopeourfaith.com.
What is the furthest distance you've ever driven for a road trip, Heidi? Can you think of like the longest drive we've ever taken? Was it when we took off and drove towards like Wyoming? And was that? Do you think that it seemed like the longest?
Oh, that was ridiculous. That was forever.
Story of Joey and Josh and Adam and their venture. What is the furthest distance you've gone? Well, Joey, Josh, and Adam, 3 guys in their 20s, took a wild venture. They took a road trip to hit all of the 48 states, the contiguous 48 states.
I was going to say,
I know there's 2 more, but there's 48 lower states here. And they didn't stop other than for gas. Josh's father was the original planner who mapped the trip and was going to take the challenge himself a few years ago. Well, the trip never happened due to his health and the death of his mother shortly before the journey was supposed to begin. So the baton was passed, or the map, you might say, was passed on to Josh and his 2 buddies, the world travelers. Took with them their electronic devices because they were blogging the whole way. The trip began in Boston and ended at the 4 Corners. To make a very long story short, here's what the guys accomplished in their 4 days. So this
doesn't even sound like fun to me at all.
7,008 miles. Took 106 hours and 43 minutes. They saw 90 cops. They never got pulled over. Highest gas was $4.15. Lowest was $3.45. So this apparently was... I don't know if this maybe was... How many showers were taken? 0. None. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do. There you go. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
John
Hey, if you're planning on spending time in Florida this summer, better watch out for the gators. Have you noticed? There's been in the news. It says here, caution has been issued in Florida. The Department of Fish and Wildlife advising hikers, hunters, and fishers and golfers to take extreme precautions and keep alert for alligators, while especially in the Bay Area, the Seminole area, the Osceola, Polk, Brevard, and Orange Counties areas. They advise people to wear noise-producing devices like little bells on their clothing to alert but not startle the alligators unexpectedly. They also advise carrying a pepper spray in case of an encounter with an alligator. It's also a good idea to watch for fresh signs of alligator activity. People should recognize the difference between small young alligators and large adult alligator droppings. And it says here, young alligator droppings are small and contain fish bones and possibly bird feathers. Well, now we know. Sorry for teaching that to you over the radio.
Hopefully you're not eating.
Yeah, no kidding. All I know is that's kind of yucky. Coming up, we're going to talk.
You know why they're so ornery?
Why are they so ornery?
Alligators.
Why?
They have all them teeth and no toothbrush.
Mama's wrong again. They have a small medulla oblongata. If I learned anything in Waterboy, I learned that. Thanks for listening on a Tuesday. This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com. All right, Heidi, drop the hamburger. It's a deadly weapon.
What?
Red meat, the staple of the American diet, could send you to an early grave, according to this story. The study concluded that Americans 50 and older who eat large amounts of red meat and processed meats, including cold cuts, bacon, and hot dogs, face a greater risk of early death from heart disease and cancer. How much is a large amount of red meat? Well, it's not much. 1/4 pound a day, or the equivalent of a single hamburger.
Really?
Yeah, according to this study.
Wow.
Now, I would like to know if the people who did this study are vegans.
Most likely.
I'm serious, and if you're vegetarian or vegan, nothing against that, but it really would make a lot of sense for me if that's who was doing the study, because so many times you find what you're looking for, and if they're trying to prove that meat is bad for you, then maybe that's why this study is saying that.
I didn't know that cold cuts were considered
meat?
Red meats.
Apparently, what do you think they are?
I don't know. Like ham, that's not red meat. That's a cold cut. And
I think that is red meat.
Turkey is not a red meat, and that's a cold cut.
I have no clue.
They just said cold cuts. They're like throwing all sandwich. Like you eat a sandwich, that's like a healthy meal. They're throwing those in this bad category.
Well,
I don't think that's right.
They're saying processed meats, so red meats and processed meats. So that's where those might not fall in the red meat category. They might not even really be meat anymore. It is a meat-like substance.
Spam.
It's like when
that's not good for you now either. You can't eat anything nowadays.
So you're telling me my spam's not healthy? What are you talking about? So anyway, they're just saying that processed meats and red meats.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. All I know is it's an interesting study, and it doesn't say who did it. I would love to know. Almost every other story I have says who does these. But this story doesn't say who did the study, so that's why I'm wondering. Not because I'm a fat guy.
Well, then they must not be vegetarians because they tell everybody.
I'm just saying it's not because I'm a fat guy and I'm trying to defend my meat. Okay, that's what it is. All right, coming up, we've got some good news to share. That is on the way. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Good news, Heidi. We always try to wrap up around here with some good news. You think this is good news?
I have no idea. You haven't told me yet.
Oh, should I tell you the story first then?
Sure, probably.
A Northwest Kansas man chronicled babysitting his 9-year-old daughter's doll in a series of hilarious photos that he posted on Facebook about a week ago. Trent McCain posed for photos of his unique babysitting experience on the Facebook page for his family's business. This happened in June 15th. So what is that? That's like a week ago. In the photos, McCain explains that his daughter, Jocelyn, was in a bind last week and needed a last-minute babysitter for her doll, Abby. McCain agreed to watch Abby and decided to post the photos of their eventful day, and it was really cute.
Aww.
It was very funny. And this right here, I think, is what you would consider a dad who was having some fun and doing the right thing, just being a dad.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
sometimes
awesome.
that, dads would say, you don't need a babysitter, it's a doll. What are you talking about? Well, Dad, you just failed. This dad, big win. And if you'd like to see the photos and laugh and have some fun, Care 11, which I believe is their local TV station, did the story. And I've got a link to their page, which is a whole lot easier. If you just go to our Facebook page. If you're not a fan already, I mean, you're listening to the show. And if you're listening to the show and you're not a fan, isn't that kind of like, stealing this information? No, it's not? Okay. But you should certainly become a fan because we got a lot of fun stories we put on there. We even have some stories that we post on there that I forget to talk about on the radio. So. And
then there are stories on the radio we talk about 3, 4, 5 times. And we share the new information.
I know.
See, that's how we do things. Backwards.
Because I find it and I share it, and then I can't remember if I read it on the radio or not. So anyway, Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to another edition of the John and Heidi Show.